Thank you for coming. I'm very happy to see friends here with whom we shared the conference on similar topics a few months ago in Vienna, where we are combining system thinking and innovation. Thank you, Mr. President, for your very encouraging words. I hope others follow your ideas because they are very close to our thinking. What we are doing today is not ecology. We are addressing innovation of human values, culture, ethics, and norms. We are addressing innovation of habits. We want to help humankind get away from what several authors call not capitalism, but feudal capitalism. It's not Adam Smith's model. It's opposition which destroys humanity. People tend to say that three main problems of today, as Mr. President has also addressed, include overpopulation, lack of resources, and destroyed nature. I agree and disagree, because all these problems are only the surface. The reality causing them is one-sidedness of the thinking and values of the influential persons, the ones which Mr. President has mentioned. So what we are talking about is human thinking. And it's very wrong when science speaks of knowledge management rather than knowledge and values management. The point we have here is the difficulty. I'm sorry it's not bigger, but the screen cannot cover more. Can you have these lights off? What I'm trying to show in the few minutes I have is how quick the changes have been in human life after the Second World War. The companies are the most influential part of it. Politicians may think they are, but that's not true. Companies are because politicians are their tool. There were three presidents in America who have three attributes in common. They didn't need the big capital, they were not Protestants, and they were killed. So what happened after the Second World War, which is from my childhood on, is a very serious, quick change in economics from the supplying enterprise, covering whatever was possible, over efficiency, which Violeta addresses as productivity component of the human life. Then only 10 years, this was enough for companies to be more competitive than the others are. Then quality came in, then flexibility was added, then innovation was added, and then what we have in the title of this conference was added in the recent decade. The sustainable enterprise is the one which has the best role, but what is coming now is more than that. Sustainability is one of four pillars of the European Union policy about our future called responsibility, social responsibility, which means that now we have officially a statement on a very high level saying that the end of owner's right of abuse is here. Because otherwise they will have no more any person to abuse. We still are facing the Roman law saying that the ownership is the right of use and abuse, jus utendi et abutendi. Like in slavery times, this is still valid, this is still sacrosanct, untouchable, and it kills. So what we find is the profit kills profit. And these changes are so quick as never in history. And now we need at the same time efficiency, quality, flexibility, innovativeness, social responsibility, including sustainable development, and honesty reaching beyond legislation, and the reaching beyond the human capacity to adapt quickly. The crisis of 2008 and the following years is for the first time crisis of affluence and crisis of innovation, caused by innovation because it's one-sided and addresses technology innovation only rather than innovation of habits. And when we tried to find out a way out of it, we found nothing. Nothing in literature, nothing in practice. The times when competitiveness was based on having natural resources was surmounted by investment, and then by innovation, and then affluence came. Wonderful. All of us here are affluent people who could not be here otherwise. But this phase has produced very high costs of uncovered costs for nature renewal, which is in the best case scenario by Professor Stern bigger than the cost of 2 world wars combined. And it may, if we don't go into action quickly, reach 20% of GDP, which is more than humankind's salary list. At the same time, 85% of humankind still live on less than $6 a day. They're talking about 1 billion people living on less than $1 a day. That's true too. But 85% on less than $6 a day or 4 euros a day, which is 120 euros a month, is also something which needs to be taken care of. Because they cannot be marketed. They cannot be ambitious. And the rest, 15%, live in over-affluence, and they can no longer be no longer be good buyers. They can no longer be ambitious because they have everything they need. So the crisis we are facing is the crisis of needs, not supply and demand only. The needs are settled. And we see no way out except social responsibility, because every similar crisis so far, like Roman empires, caused destruction. The crisis of 1930s was not finished by ideas of Keynes, but by the Second World War, and every other before the same way. So I think we are fighting the war here, because this is going to be unavoidably a nuclear war, so we are fighting the end of humankind.